All right. Hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Fun Fans Podcast. I'm your host, James Dillard. With me, as always, my co-host, Bailey Jackson. How you doing, Bailey?
I'm good, but the future is so bright. I had to wear shades for the Tigers.
Shades. Yes.
I'm gonna take this off so I can see.
We're all about the future around here, and speaking of the future, we are here in the future because we were not here last night. Unfortunately, but we are here back and better than ever. We are still super excited to be Fun fans, especially of the Clemson Tigers. I have a full report on all the fun that the Clemson fans had in Texas, and we might talk a little football as well, and I'm sure Bailey is itching to give us an update on Clemson basketball. But first, the Fun Fans are a proud part of Greenville Sports Media Podcasting Network. If you're a true sports fan, Greenville Sports Media is perfect for you. Find various nationwide podcasts, the latest articles, and other sports media at greenvillesportsmedia.com. Those guys can also be found on all forms of social media, just like the Fun Fans. The Fun Fans Podcast is the official podcast for Clemson fans.
Yeah, and you can find Rubens at 1083 Batesville Road in Greer, at 11028 Anderson Road in Piedmont, or RubensC.com. Rubens is simply a great place to eat for all sports fans and a proud supporter of the Fun Fans Podcast.
Yes, the Fun Fans Podcast is also brought to you by Ivy O'Sullivan Healthcare Services. At Ivy O'Sullivan, they're more than just chiropractors. Since 1977, this family-owned business located in downtown Spartanburg has been helping people with techniques other than the typical twisting and popping that can sometimes make people nervous about trying a chiropractor. I've been a patient my entire life, and I take my own children there as well. If you have an ache or pain, give Ivy O'Sullivan Healthcare a try, and if you mention the Fun Fans Podcast, they will donate 100% of your initial evaluation costs to their charity of the month. So call them at 864-583-3967 or find them at ivyosullivan.com to feel better and function at your best. All right, so as previously stated, Bailey was in Austin on scene last week. Okay, so that's was right. The Fun Fans Podcast. We had you in Austin before any other Clemson sports media outlet. Not that we don't necessarily. I guess we are media. We're not sports news media necessarily. We're fun news.
Yeah, we don't have the credentials.
Yeah, we don't have. We got our own credentials.
Yeah, that's right.
But my brother and I made the trip this past weekend to the game, and it was awesome. The trip was great. Anybody that was able to go, I'm sure shares this with everybody we talked to. Everybody was disappointed in the score and all that stuff, but nobody was disappointed in what we did. So I'm going to just give you. We're going to go through it real quick. So this, and if you're audio only, you're just going to come watch the YouTube because I got a whole slideshow of pictures. So the Friday night before the game, shout out to the Austin Clemson Club for hosting a gathering, party at Whiskey Tango Foxtrot Ice House in downtown Austin. And you can see they had it all set up on the bar with all the stuff. That little VIP section, I think there was a board member or two there. Eric McLean was there. There were some other Clemson names that you would probably recognize that were there. So they just mingled in with everybody else, though.
So is that WTF?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
never mind.
Right.
I figured it out.
Yeah. So, and then a lot of people kind of shifted outside due to, as you can see, the huge screen on the artificial turf outdoor seating viewing area that they had. And it was a really cool environment, really cool atmosphere. And, oddly enough, there must have been 20 Indiana fans there. So if I went to Austin and, the thing for the Clemson alumni or Clemson club, and obviously there were a bunch of Clemson fans there, and I never would have expected 20 Indiana fans to show up.
Well, I mean, I guess they were showing the game, so they said, well, let's go there.
Let's do it. Yeah. So anyway, I guess they got a national following just like any other school. But that was nice. They had the heaters. It got a little chilly, so we dipped. But one thing they definitely had, they had the fancy port. We talked about this before. They had them nice porta-johns. Hadn't had these porta-johns like they had at the since we've been to the the golf tournament up here, the BMW Pro-Am
right
here in Greenville. So that was a good deal. We don't have any pictures from the inside. So the next morning, brother and I, we get dropped off on campus. And this, I'm going to have to find the video to play the video. This is our first experience as we jump on campus. So let's hear what we say. Okay, so we have just arrived on campus. And of course, the first thing we need is a Porta-John update here, how they do it in Texas, or at least at the University of Texas. So apparently they like putting single Porta-Johns in various places. Maybe that cuts down on the lines. Maybe it don't. But instead of grouping the Porta-Johns, they have single Porta-Johns here and there. That's got to make it difficult for the Porta-John company. So, but whatever. So there's that. Yeah, so whatever floats their boat. But did you notice anything else in that video, Bailey? I'll go and tell you, this was about 3.5, 4 hours before kickoff.
Yeah, nobody's there.
Nobody was there. Nobody was there. So there were some, we had walked past a vehicle or two and people had set up their tailgate. And there was a couple off in the distance there, but this parking lot, if this was, you get 3.5 hours before kickoff at Clemson, and this right on the other side of that building is you're going to cross the street and get to the stadium.
Right.
That lot would have been half full in Clemson. So not sure what's the deal with that is, but that's okay. It's just kind of how they roll. Now we went to the other side of the building. We circumnavigated that. That was some Lyndon B. Johnson or some president or somebody's library.
Presidential library, yes.
Yes. So we went around that on the other side. Now, what you see here in these two pictures, there were still no cars. Okay. And these tents that are set up are not the 10 by 10 that you're going to buy at Academy.
Right.
These were commercial rental tents, and underneath were catered setups. They were catering companies, and these things went up one side and down the other. And so this is how, at least on the part of campus that we saw, this is how they tailgate. I don't know if the next slide you can tell a little better. You see the big tent, and then the chairs are set up.
Yes, I guess what do? Park and walk over and have their tailgate there?
They park and walk. Yeah, apparently they have to, because when we walked to the game, it was full of people. Once again, the majority of these tents, there may have been a few people in under each tent, but most of them were just getting set up. They're literally the catering people were rolling the food to the tables and stuff, and it had the names, had some name. Right. Some of them had two names, so it was either a couple of families went in and got each tent. It was like every one of these tents was like a mini wedding reception type deal.
Right.
And these shots are in different directions. So these are all of the tents in that picture, and then all of the tents in this picture are different tents. So that's what they did, up one side, down the other. Who knows how many thousands of dollars it costs per game.
No kidding.
To have something like that. But in the part of campus that we saw, that was how they rolled. So people on the other side of the building, as they were showing up, were doing the individual with their car, probably like we do, or maybe they were parking over there and walking to these tents. I don't know. So we get to the other side of the building, which was almost back to where we started, which that's all good. We got to tour a little bit, and we found where the Alumni and Family and Friends Texas tailgate was, sponsored by the Clemson alumni. If you ever get a chance to do this, everyone needs to do it. If you ever get a chance to go to an away playoff game on campus, hopefully we'll have one at home. Everybody's talking about we need to buy. I'd rather host one. This was so much fun. It wasn't even funny. But they had all the stuff laid out. This spread of food. So in the picture on the left is the buffet. Had the brisket, the smoked turkey, the barbecue. You can kind of see my plate a little bit on the picture on the right. Cornbread, mac and cheese. I mean, and did you eat barbecue and stuff when you were in Austin a week ago, Bailey?
No, I never did eat any barbecue. So
you automatically assume it's going to be good, and definitely was not disappointed with this meal. The food was outstanding, and they did a great job hosting. And they, of course, set up a big tent with the alumni folks. I have another video just to kind of show the look of the whole thing. I believe this is it right here. So they had TV set up. The game was on. Nobody paid attention to the SMU Penn State game after too terribly long. The president came, made a showing. So that was pretty cool. That was fun.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, we head to the game. So the picture on the left is the crowd walking to the game. That is a 4-lane highway. You walk to the stadium. So it's the roads around. Nobody's parking there. Nobody's tailgating there. It is not like Clemson. Tons of people walking in. And then the picture on the right, those were our seats looking straight into the sun. I'm sitting there taking pictures and didn't really know what I was taking pictures of. But in the section we were in, it was mostly Clemson fans. We got the tickets through IPTAY. So, and the stadium was full. And we'll look more about how the stadium was full the whole game later on. But so that's our view from the stadium where we were sitting. It took me a while. Did they show this on TV? Do you see that? I got a better picture later. Maybe. Right here. Okay. Do you notice anything in those stands over there?
I can't.
You see the Longhorn?
Oh yeah.
It took me a while to figure it to realize that they built the walls basically, and their team, that's where their team ran out of. They built the Longhorn logo into the end zone over there, and that would have been that's the west end zone, similar to Clemson, because the sun was setting that way. So I thought that was pretty cool, and you can see that jumbotron. And right over the jumbotron, I want to point this out to give some people some perspective. That's downtown Austin.
Right. So
imagine the only thing us Clemson fans to relate to the situation, the feel, the vibe. Imagine taking Williams-Brice Stadium and pulling it all the way in to campus down there at South Carolina.
Right.
That's kind of what it reminded me of. But that was pretty cool. And just wanted to point that out. Now I got this at halftime. This is a picture from the stadium, and you can't really tell, but that's another tailgate tent. That's a three-story party tent.
Nice.
Yeah. So that one just drowns all the rest of them that we saw before. But I'm like, yeah, these folks, they do it up big time when it comes to there's some zeros and some commas in what they're doing with their tailgating. And then let's see, I think I got a closer picture of the stands. Well, maybe not. You see those names? I don't know. You probably didn't see this on TV. The names at the top of the jumbotron, they were not like popping up and going away. Those couples' names, Kurt and Tara and Justin and whoever, in those huge font. And I'm sitting there thinking, how much money did those cats donate to get their names on that big old jumbotron right there like that? That was something else. Yeah. A lot of oil money.
I can't imagine.
A lot of oil money. All right. So the picture on the left here, they did some smoke. Clemson did some smoke recently, and we thought it was funny. We were tripping about how their smoke went right up into their fans.
Right.
And we were like, I'm not sure that was supposed to happen. But then they busted out a drone show. The sun was starting to go down, and this was right over our heads. And that was really cool. And obviously, even the Clemson fans are taking pictures and videos and stuff of the drone show, because I'm sorry. A lot of stuff they did was really, really cool. Not going to say it was better than Clemson, because we're Clemson. Nobody runs down the hill. Nobody does it like we do it. But they did some stuff that was really, really cool and fun in the stadium. And I thought this was good. And if you're a Matthew McConaughey fan, let me show this video real quick. I think this is their between the third
and fourth quarter.
Yeah, between the third and fourth quarter deal. Yeah, so we did not get permission from Matthew McConaughey to put him on our podcast, but
I appreciate him being here.
Yeah, if he hears about it, we'll just have to argue about it later. But we're definitely giving him a shout out. The place was rocking. You heard the music start. The music they would play is just like Clemson.
Right.
So they're hyping up the fans. That don't intimidate the players because those players are hearing the same thing they hear at their home field. But they did some fun stuff on the Jumbotron. At the beginning of the game, they put a warning up there, like you're about to open a pack of cigarettes or something, and it said, warning, we're required to show Clemson's intro video.
Right.
And they showed they showed the video that would play at Clemson. Other than that, they would show one thing I thought was really cool. They showed on the Jumbotron, they had a camera at the Dallas Texas Longhorn Club viewing party, like you're watching, and they show the camera at some military base or something,
right?
And the fans are screaming. I thought that was fun, so that was pretty cool. But also a mariachi band popped up on the Jumbotron like 4 times, so
okay,
that was okay too. So they get just it gets dark. It turned into a night game, the second half of the game, and it was fun. And that's when Clemson started playing better again. And then this is after the game. Just kind of look back, and this is kind of what Bailey showed us last week about the size of this stadium, and it just looks like a huge building. It's just huge.
Yeah, it is.
And at night, it was pretty good. It was pretty cool. So that was the fun fan experience, being there and being at the game. I'm glad I went, no matter what happened with the game and the score. And I can say everybody that was there can say they were at the first ever 12-team playoff round 1 matchup. And, especially as a fan of the Clemson Tigers. And, we'll talk about the game a little bit, but I'm for the most part proud of the way the players played and stuff. So we'll get into that in a minute. But the fans,
I think there's if you want to get into the game, we'll get into the game in a minute. You say what you were going to say.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, their fans were great. One thing about going to Texas, no joke, the shade of orange is obviously different, but in the sunshine, it's hard to tell.
Right.
A little bit of our shade is a little bit towards their shade, and some of their shades a little bit towards our shade. And nobody was talking trash or doing anything because you kind of didn't know who was a fan of who until you saw the Paul or the Texas or the Longhorn. So, but when we talked to them, they talked to us. Thanks for coming, and everything was great. It was nice. It was really, it was a good experience.
Well, they're a very good football team.
No, without a doubt.
And I think Clemson did not disappoint, especially on a defense that was ranked first or second in every category and had not given up that many yards passing all year.
Right.
When you were watching on television, the defensive backs they were arguing with each other because Clemson was running some guys wide open.
Yeah.
So it was, that's why I wore the sunglasses. I'm already looking forward to next year.
We're only going to be better.
I think Clemson and South Carolina both are in the top 10 preseason minimum.
Yeah, we're only going to be better. One last thing, I'll give a shout out to, we ran into some folks that we had mutual friends when my brother and I were in the band at Clemson, and they, bless their hearts, ended up at the same table as us at the alumni tailgate. So Beth and Jennifer, we appreciate y'all chatting with us and hanging out with us. And it was nice to meet those folks and, some of the other folks that were with us, and hopefully there'll be new, they come to most of the home games. So I told them where we tailgate. Come to the Fun Fans tailgate.
That's it.
Maybe we get some new Fun Fans fans. But yeah, so as far as the game goes, we go down and score.
Mm-hmm.
We move the ball better. Everybody wants to fire West. They are so good. We messed up too many times to beat a team or to get even closer than 14 points against a team their tackles, their offensive tackles, ginormous.
Right. I'm just, you asked me weeks ago on this particular show, who were the 2 teams that I thought had a chance to win it all. And I said Oregon and Texas.
Yeah, I've liked Texas all year. I don't know how they hadn't beaten Georgia.
Yeah, because they can't run the ball against Georgia like they do against everybody else. They run first, pass second.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a couple big plays that, really, Terrell could have picked off a pass and he dropped it, and then the interception return for a touchdown. That call on the blindside block was very questionable. It was questionable.
Bless the and now see that's the South Carolina fans like seeing that, but that's I don't know how new of a rule that is, but we researched it when they did it against LSU, and that's the call, and it hurt us Saturday, and it hurt them against LSU.
It's like the announcer said, "Hey, when I played, that was just football."
It wasn't many years ago that was 100% legal.
And no, it hadn't been long at all, and he didn't really like light him up the way it looked like he did.
No,
like it wasn't as vicious as it looked.
He only got it like a step and a half when he realized that my guy was returning the ball.
But anyway, that's the rule.
Yeah. Now, the only thing
Clemson didn't play well enough to win on defense. If they get 2 or 3 stops, they're right in the game. And really, they could have scored down there to go down 1 score. And I thought, wait a minute. If we get 1 stop, we got the ball back down 7. But we did not get a stop.
Did not.
They stopped us.
Kind of Terrell's the best. He's our best DB. He's a great player, and I'm not knocking, but he had a jersey grabbing night, and I just don't know, kind of where that came from. He was in good position. There was no reason for him to, the hand fighting and hand checking. They're going to let that go, but his pass interference calls were very in not a good time, and to give 15 yards to that offense, that didn't help either. The big running plays, I think we seem to got away from the bend but don't break, because we definitely just broke when they would break those running plays.
Yeah, and then we had to get up there and play man coverage, and when you talk about Terrell, we play man coverage, try to get another guy in the box to stop the run, and what was happening and I watched the replays, our linebackers were not getting to the gap. You know how the window shuts, the window closes, it opens. That's where the linebacker goes in. We used to coach, and they were getting it was a combo block up to the backer, and we were getting there because of a huge offensive tackle coming at us.
Right,
and I get it.
A couple of times it was even worse. We, like you say, I don't know. We blitzed the safety. We blitzed Minkins, or either walked him up, to get him to probably for run support. But what happened is they're just running a stretch.
Yeah, it's another level, man. Those offensive linemen are another level.
Yeah, but our safety, those couple of times that the safeties walked up, that was a bad gamble, because then when he breaks the line of scrimmage, there was nobody.
Right.
A couple of other times, bad angle by the other safety. So, but like I say, they're really good. A couple of things you would think would be better. They're the number 3 team in the country.
I don't know why we would think it would be better. It hasn't been great all year. Clemson backed up into the playoff, and that's fine, but we played like we deserved to be there, and we also played better than anybody else Saturday and Friday that lost.
Let me tell you this. Everybody listen up, for people that were watching it on TV and talks about it was a double-digit game. I promise you, that stadium – not one Texas fan left that stadium when we were down by 17 or 21 or whatever it was. And even when we were down by 14 late in the 4th quarter, the vibe was not that this is a blowout.
Right.
Their fans were into it. Their players were into it. The stadium was still packed out as if it was a 1-score game, because they knew every time we got the ball, it should have been a 1-score game one more time, and they knew that the threat was there. We were threatening to make it a 1-score game with, 4, 5, and 7 minutes to go in the game. So it was not, you can say just double digits all you want, but it was not a blowout.
No. And I'm telling you, offense played good enough. They moved the ball on Texas better than anyone has all year.
Well, and they were healthy and we weren't,
Right, it's fine. It is what it is. We lost.
Yeah, and it was fun, and we're going to be better next year. And I'm going to say it. I said it before the season ever started, when this 12-team playoff format came out, that hosting a home game would be great. I'd rather host a home game than have a bye, and I 100% stand by that. I don't know if we win the ACC or don't win the whatever. I would rather host in Death Valley and set up our tailgate and have the other team come Penn State or whoever, Arizona State or somebody come to us in Clemson and show them some hospitality and just be all crunk up in that stadium,
right?
Then get a buy. It was so much fun. We're going to talk about the 12-team playoff, but we're kind of running short on time, and the format. But we're going to do what intelligent people do, and we're going to kind of let it play out before we over criticize the system.
Right.
Heaven forbid if you just let something play out.
Yeah.
It's not like they weren't
Lane
blowouts
Kiffin,
in the 14.
Leave them alone, Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, no kidding. So anyway, moving on. Speaking of the playoffs, I'm still excited about the games coming. There's still 4 big, huge games with 8 awesome college football teams. I can't wait. This is what we've talked about for decades. Why don't we have a playoff in major college football? I'm looking forward to that. Was the first round was great to me. I'm looking forward to every round coming up. What about you, Bailey? I'm gonna watch every game.
Yeah, I mean it's good stuff. I don't, I think we'll have a plan when this thing is over for how they could move forward if they don't change it before we get to that show. But I mean, I'm gonna watch the games. Come on.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna watch the games. Most of them are on January 1st.
Yeah, most of them next rounds are January 1st, I believe.
Yeah, so good luck, Arizona State.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Speaking of, I have 4 Peach Bowl tickets for sale. Any Texas or Arizona State fans, just college football fans in the Atlanta area, just hit me up.
Been selling them out there before you left.
Well, we talked to a couple people, but this is currently posted on Ticketmaster. But all right, so and like I say, we'll come back and we'll give our 2 cents worth on the 12-team playoff and how we feel. But speaking of how we feel about things, we're running out of time, but Bailey can give us we got plenty of time for a little basketball update. We beat.
Yeah. Before we close the book on football, I would like to say that in the years that the 2 of us were on campus in Clemson, I'm using 91 through 96. Okay. Mm-hmm. The overall record of Clemson football was 43-26-1. Okay.
Yeah.
Since 2011, there have been 13 10-win seasons and 1 9-win season. Okay, the highest win total between 91 and 96 was 9. We've had 13 10-win seasons in a row, 2 national championships, 7 college football playoff appearances, and only 16 conference losses while we had 97 wins. So, people, enjoy it. That's all I can say. Now, basketball, lost in overtime to Memphis. Tough game, lost in overtime to the Gamecocks. Gamecocks and Tigers game was a very good basketball game.
Man.
Clemson should have, I won't say they should have won that one. I think they could have. I think they should have won the Memphis game. But they're playing at home at 11 a.m. on a Saturday with no students. It's just that's just tough. Why is it 11? Memphis travel and TV. All right, so, but they're 2-0 in the ACC. They beat Wake Forest yesterday or day before yesterday. Mm-hmm. And, they're ranked, they're a projected 6th seed right now in the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
So we're good. We're fine.
Yeah. Looking good.
They're going to lose some games, though. Guess what? That's how basketball seasons go.
That's how basketball goes. That's right. And we'll talk about it some more. But like I say, just to point out, of the 14 playoff games, about a 40-something, close to 50% of those games were double-digit victories for the winner. So, everybody's making too much of a big deal about what happened this weekend. But great job by the basketball team. Great season by the football team. The future is bright, as Bailey pointed out. And we are glad that you guys joined us this evening. Please, sorry we had to wait a day. FYI, prayers for the wife. Santa brought my wife a kidney stone for Christmas, so that's what delayed us a day.
Hey, congratulations.
So, prayers for her well-being, if you don't mind, and we hope everyone, speaking of, has a very Merry Christmas, right, Bailey?
That's right. Enjoy some time with your friends and family, and Merry Christmas to everyone. And happy holidays.
Everyone, yeah. I hope everybody gets the opportunity, and Bailey's going to disagree because I'm going to include the Gamecock fans. I hope every college football fan gets the opportunity to do what me and my brother did and go to another big-time stadium and experience that home field advantage. Good luck to Longhorns. Are we all Longhorn fans now?
You know, I don't know that I'm a fan of anybody, but my favorite bowl game coming up is the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
How can it not be?
I cannot wait.
That's the best one. And of course, the Pop-Tarts is still the best tasting bowl.
Yeah.
But anyway, we appreciate you joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we will definitely see you in 2025, if not sooner. Thanks again for checking us out each and every Sunday and Monday. Don't forget to click subscribe on the Fun Fans Podcast YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on social media and share. Please reach out to become a sponsor. On behalf of the Fun Fans Podcast, Jay Thriller Entertainment, Greenville Sports Media, and Bailey Jackson,
happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, and go Tigers.